Hello, everyone. Now let's all learn together interface concept. So interface it with our abstract class. It's actually a very similar concept. It's also a template for doing one of our classes. Let's look at one of its syntax first. So an interface is defined by this interface. Interface it just like the standard one, but all the methods in it are empty. All your methods are public. The use of interfaces. If we implement it, we don't use inheritance. He's using the keyword implements. So interface. It is not possible to define members within itself. Variables including near members cannot be defined, but it can define constants. What about this type? All methods of the interface must be implemented. Interfaces can only be defined. You can't just define and not implement. It doesn't have individual functions. Interface to all methods and experiments. Its default level is always of the up type, so its demands more rigorous than our abstraction of what ask for something, so it's kind of a norm. For example, when we were doing enterprise development. Let's take an example. When the enterprise is developing, so the enterprise inside the project, all kinds of databases he could be connecting to, whether or not. So what do we usually write here? Alright, let's order one. It this place. We should call it interface. It interface. Let's say we're defining a database. Interview question, access a structure. So what's usually in database access? Have a database connection. What might be passed in a database connection? Transfer database configuration. So you have to define the parameters in this. What else might be in the database? There may also be database execution. Well, there's a need for strength in that, too. Lengthen our circle statement. And then there may be our database shutdown. Text bank connection. Close function. So this is the interface to one of our databases. An interface to a database slot. So down below. So let's say a programmer. Is it some programmer? The project he's working on now is a PRP connection. Database, so it's going to write what? Plus POPDB. What's this place called? Implements. To implement our interface. Click here to implement this structure. So what's all the method here? All of the methods here have to be implemented. Same thing if the next one comes another one. What if he's connected to what? Even my circle. Art or a company server. Or connect to org. So it's org. Then this specific connection process is related to us, likely alien, a bicircle. Just like the DBH class we had before. In that way, I'm sure we have something else to add. Is there something else to add? Like replenishing us with something. These two members. Okay, so let's just write this down. This of ours. A solid line inside the PRP. What else could be in there? There are functions of Go. Roll over. Switch to the next function. So what does this function do? This function is the value that was passed in to this data member of ours. So what can we use here? Merge. Merge functions with a single number. This is where the database connection is performed. This is where the search statement is executed. The first parameter is our database connection. The specific experimental process I have here. I won't go into details. So from this example, what can you explain? In fact, we have this. So what does this interface do? So what the interface does is for our programming developers. An authoring specification is provided. Isn't your function named? What do your parameters look like? It's all set. This will facilitate the management of our code. Everyone is more unified. So this is the interface. So let's look at the interface again. So interface is actually a little more stringent compared to our abstract class. It cannot define member variables. You can only define constants. Then this must be accepted. Must implement interface. All of the defined methods. It cannot be implemented inside the interface. We can do that inside the car. Interfaces don't have constructors. And the method in this case, they all have to be of type public. So when do we use structure? When are abstract classes used? So I can see from here, when we have some classes that are so abstract, his demands are lower. Is it an abstract class? What can he do? He could have included some in this. Methods that have been implemented. That is to say, when we have something inside we can already achieve. When the implemented method is shared with everyone, we can use abstractions. Abstract class. If I just write a specification, then I'll use the interface. Okay, so that's it for the revelation. Thank you all.